if you're anything like me and you're playing the Ranger, most of the time you'll find that there's one culprit move you tend to use, and that's this one just here, and it's Divine Launcher. And that's because it's probably our best move, to be fair. But what I'm going to do is show you today is how to get into the thick of things, pull off quite a few close range combo moves, and then back out and use Divine Launcher. Because sometimes it's good to just have a little change up.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Whee.
So welcome back all you gamers. What I'm going to do, I'm over here in the VR training centre. I'm just going to show you a quick demonstration on what I've chucked on my build and how it flows together, and then afterwards I'll go through why I'm using it. I haven't got anything amazing on. I'm not using any damage boosts. I'm not going to be using any bullets to up my damage or cause blind or anything such as that. And I haven't got the best gear in the world. It's 113 star launcher that's about upgraded to enhanced 10, I believe. But I'll show you the build and nearly got hit then. Right, so 268,390. Probably not the biggest damage in the world, but on a launcher you're going to be going for multiple targets most times. So for a single target, that's nothing amazing, but most of the time you're going to be hitting 2s, 3s, 4s, usually more than that, to be fair. So that would have been a lot more damage if there was a lot more adversaries there. What I tend to do is jump in and start off with the Cosmo Breaker. Now this move's really good as a starter, but not if you miss with it. It's a really slow moving bolt, takes off 40 PP, and as you can see, if you miss with that, you might as well go for lunch. You're going to have a lot of weight in. So what you want to do, get in the mix of things, shoot it off, hit something, it will be doing tick damage, and then do whatever else you want to do. You can either get a bit of PP back if you need to with your normal attack, or you could go straight into your Divine Launcher, which is a nice big hit, especially for area effect. Or what I tend to do is go for this one, and that one is, let's see, because I can't actually remember what that one's called. Yeah, so start off with your Cosmos Breaker, and then what you want to do will be go into your Nova Blast, which on its own is actually really weak. I kind of just throw it into the build for a bit of tick damage, to be fair, because if you were just using this constantly, I think you'd probably take it off your bar. But with this alongside it, so Cosmos and Nova, you're kind of getting hits on the monsters while you're going into other things, so it works really well. It doesn't work so well on its own. Yeah, so start off with your Cosmos Breaker in amongst things, and then you want to dodge roll out of the way, chuck in a Nova Blast, then you've got kind of got 2 ticks going on, and then what you can do is you can either go into your normal attack to get a bit of PP back, Divine Launcher, or your Flame Rounds. Now Flame Rounds is ridiculously powerful. If you're in amongst the thick of things and you're chucking your Flame Rounds on, you're going to be taking down people's health left, right and centre. They're really good. So if you're getting some good like damage on them, it'll be from the Flame Rounds, because as you can see, mine are only level 8 at the moment, and that was probably my hardest hitting thing. If you've noticed this as well, Rocket Rodeo, I never used this early game, not even mid game, to be fair, because why would you? Why would you put it on your build? You're just taking damage off yourself. How many times are you going to be wanting to just randomly run into the middle of everything like this, or ride into the middle of everything like this, should I say? The thing is, you kind of don't. What I found myself doing is actually being out of the game quite a lot, whereas people will get in amongst the fights and everything, and I'm kind of last to supper, shall we say. By the time I got there, everything was done. With Rocket Rodeo, what you do is do that, and then before it does this bit at the end, dodge roll. And that way, dodge roll. Straight off, dodge roll. Especially if you need to cover quite a bit of distance. Obviously it's going to cost you 20 pp each time, but you're going to get there a lot sooner than where you would running. So I would say nah, I could not live without Rocket Rodeo. It's a very strange move because you don't really think you're going to be needing it, and it doesn't look the best, to be fair. But for manoeuvrability, that is definitely your bread and butter. Like I said, you may be doing a lot more damage than myself if you've got better equipment than that, but I find these moves work really well together, especially if you've got a lot of ads. That right there, tick damage on everything. Obviously you need it to connect, and then after that chuck that one on. That'll be doing a bit of tick damage as well, and then you can either jump up and do your divine launcher if you want to get a bit more air effect, or you could get a bit of PP back with your normal attack and go straight into your flamethrower, which, let's face it, anything that reminds you of aliens, a bit of Scrawny Weaver, that's job done. Right, so that's pretty much my build for the launcher. Hopefully it's got a few things in there that make you think maybe it's worth putting on. If you've got a much better setup, then obviously use your own. Coming up next, I'll show you what I tend to use for the rifle build. Right, so I'm just going to show you roughly the same thing again for my rifle build. The only thing to go over is that my rifle is not the best and its damage output is a little bit low. It's a Nox Steer, 12 star I believe, 0 enhancements, nothing special about it whatsoever. So I definitely won't be doing the most damage in the world, but I'll show you what I'm doing and you can decide whether or not you like it.
Emergency code defeat.
Right, so as you can see from that, I'm not doing the most damage in the world because I think that's a little bit where my weapon's a bit lackluster. Hasn't got the best stats on it, hasn't got the best augments or anything like that. So I'd imagine that would go over 300. It would be a little bit better than the launcher against single target, and that's mainly due to this move right here. That move there is an absolute beast. Satellite cannon. If you haven't got that on your bar, I would definitely recommend it. The only thing is, it's also, as you can tell, a skill that takes absolutely ages to charge. What's that, like 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, something like that? It's a long time either way. So what you want to do is put some stuff on your bar that can get you out of trouble, and easier ones, like faster ones should I say, not easier, sorry. And also a lot of the time with the Ranger class, you will actually be doing this a lot. It's standard. You'll be using it a lot. If you're not using that, you're probably missing out on quite a bit of damage, to be fair. So like I said, not the biggest damage in the world, but I feel like the moves go well together. So I'll show you what I've got on my bar, and that is Positron Blast. I didn't actually use that. I do use it quite a lot, but I didn't actually use it this time because what it is, it's a piercing move. So if there's a few enemies in a row, you kind of chuck that on them and it does a lot of damage through a big target area. Satellite cannon, that's what I tend to do as a starting move, as you saw there. And then I go straight into Impact Slider. The Impact Slider is an absolutely amazing move for getting you out of trouble. I would say if you kept using your standard shooting move and your Impact Slider, you would almost definitely be out of most bits of trouble. You could avoid 90% of stuff. You might need a dodge roll here and there, but that Impact Slider kind of acts a little bit similar as that. It really does. It's really manoeuvrable. Over here I've just chucked on my normal attack. Like I said, you'll always be using that. So and over here I have a grenade round because I do like a bit of area damage. So what I tend to do is use that if I'm at a distance and chuck a grenade round in, but for my combo, as you could see, what I tend to do was go from satellite cannon into impact slider, then chuck a skyfire salvo, and that's obviously, that works best, same as some of the other stuff, if you've got like an area effect. So as long as there's a few adds, that works really well with that. And then after that, you'll just be chucking out your normal attacks to get back your PP, sorry, then doing it again, and then going around with your impact slider as much as you need to, because that really is just so handy, skidding about the place. It gets you out of a lot of trouble. Like I said, this, you can kind of get out of most situations with that. Yeah, so hopefully that's helped you out a little bit. If you've got a better build yourself, or you think I'm missing out on a few moves, let me know, drop it in the comments, because I always like learning, always like changing up my builds and stuff. They're the best ones I've found at the moment, and I don't know if you can tell from my playstyle, but I tend to find that the launcher is a lot better, and 90% of the time it's a lot better. As long as you've got a way of getting out kind of thing, you're probably best off using the launcher like 8 out of 10 times. But as I said, that's probably because I haven't got the best rifle in the world. For single target, this will definitely take over eventually, but it won't be far off. The launcher is an absolutely amazing weapon, and if you're clearing ads or you're trying to get through stages, you'll probably use the launcher for most of it. And then if you've got a really nice rifle, you'll very possibly change over to that just for the boss or for the big bad dudes. Right everyone, I hope that's helped a little bit. If you feel that you've got a much better build altogether, throw everything that I said completely out the window and crack on with what you're doing. But if not, hope this helped, and if you'd like to subscribe or join the Sofa Squad, then love to have you aboard. Leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment, whatever floats your boat, and I'll see you on the next day. Take care.